Hey everyone! So, since the release of the Corruption Vendor, it's been up in the air about what corruption you want to be stacking out of the strongest, versatile, and gushing wounds, which are used by most classes other than a few rare cases. First, gushing wounds was the clear go-to, but then it received a 33% nerf, making versatile and versatility stacking the clear favorite. But now versatile has also received some changes alongside its main source of power, conflict and strife. So, what do we do now? Well, in this video, we're going to be exploring Gushing Wound versus Versatile, taking a look at the strengths of each, and then revealing what our all-star lineup of rank 1 consultants recommend picking for each viable spec in PvP right now. First up, let's take a look at the strength of each corruption. Gushing Wound is the highest damage dealing corruption in the game for pretty much every class, hands down offering the highest damage per point of corruption out of all of them. How Gushing Wounds works is that it can be applied to anything that you're dealing damage to, applying a dot that deals damage over 7 seconds. The proc rate on this is approximately 4 times per minute, but the proc chance is increased by haste. The damage of Gushing Wounds is increased by both versatility and can critical strike, having around an average uptime of around 60%. The damage is also increased by the item level of the piece. So a gushing piece on a Mythic 485 from the final 2 bosses of Nyalotha is going to do a lot of work. Versatile, on the other hand, amplifies your versatility by either 6, 9, or 12%, which recently got a very minor nerf in PvP. The strength of Versatile is how it's not just a pure offensive corruption. Versatile and versatility not only increase your damage dealt, but also reduce your damage taken, allowing classes that often get trained to be a lot more durable. Now, between Gushing Wounds and Versatile, it can be very misleading if you were just to look at the damage meter. Gushing Wounds will clearly be on top, dealing upwards of 30% damage for some classes. The thing is though, with looking at damage meters for this comparison, is that you're overlooking the offensive output of Versatile and Versatility as a stat, while not showing up on the bar as a damage meter doing 30% of your overall damage. Max versatility gear and full versatile stacking, you're gaining on average about 2k versatility, let's say from your amps alone, even after the nerf, with 85 versatility equating to 1% damage increase on all your abilities. So taking this 2k versatility we've gained, that's a 23.5% damage increase, a bit less than the 30% plus that you get from Gushing Wounds. It's also worth noting that versatility also works on third-party damage sources, the big ones being Reaping Flames Major, and also trinkets like Drestagath and Remote Guidance Device. However, you have to remember versatility also gives you half the damage and healing increase in damage reduction, which is then further increased by Conflict and Strife Major. So you can see just how close these corruptions are and why they're so good right now even despite the nerfs. When asked the question, Versatile or Gushing Wounds though, why not both or, well, a mixture? It's a good idea for most classes to aim to have multiple sets of gear further into the expansion. Have a set of Gushing and a set of Versatile. Not all matches you'll need damage reduction in, and in some matches, you'll find yourself needing to be more tanky and survive for longer. And if you don't know what the enemy team is doing, it could be good to have a mixture. For example, you could run 5 Gushing and 3 12% Versatile and still be at 39 Corruption as of this week. Alright, so the question you've all come here for, which corruption does my spec use? Well, we've got in touch with some of the major rank 1 consultants to share their opinions. Kicking things off with warriors, they love versatility as a stat in general due to how durable it makes them. They also lack any good way of spreading Gushing Wounds other than Bladestorm, and with versatility being one of the best damage stats, it results in Versatile being great both offensively and defensively. So aim to get as many Versatiles as you possibly can for your gear. Holy Paladins are one of the unique cases in which they can make use out of Ineffable Truth due to its interaction with Fist of Justice and how reliant they are on wings. With that in mind, when focused, you'll also want to aim for a Versatile set to swap around to. Whereas Ret Paladins struggle with being the targets in the majority of compositions and rely heavily on Versatile to fill that void. At the same time, Versatility is a very good offensive stat for Ret, meaning that you should aim to get full Versatile. Hunter's only viable spec right now is Survival. Having inherent tankiness and the ability to kite, coupled with playing in a lot of compositions where they are not the main target, such as Jungle or Shadow Priest Hunter, means that they can get away with maximizing their damage output. As a result of this, they do far better with a full Gushing set. So aim to get Gushing and then start working on a Versatile for those rare cases where you need it. Rogues have an abundance of defensive cooldowns to rotate through and are, in the majority of compositions they play, not the main target, think Rogue Mage for example. As a result of this, rogues can aim to prioritize full damage stacking with Gushing Wounds. After you've got a full Gushing set though, aim to get some Versatile to mix in if you find teams are swapping to you. Next up with Shadow, you'll want to aim for full Versatile. Having no mobility, Shadow Priests are often the target of choice. To reduce their damage taken and increase their ability to survive, they need Versatile. In compositions like Shadowplay, you can sometimes get away with rotating in some Gushing Wounds on higher item level pieces and wearing a mixture. Disc Priests are much the same. As a healer, it's often not the case that you'll be prioritizing damage, so starting with a full versatile set is advised. You could potentially swap out some versatile for Gushing for 2v2, or cases where you need more damage at the cost of healing and damage reduction in 3v3. Holy is one of the most unique healers and relies so much on haste that they're the only spec in PvP that it's advised to stack either Racing Pulse or Expedient. Ally Shamans are able to survive thanks to their high mobility and the ability to avoid damage, meaning they can get away with wearing full Gushing and maximizing their damage output, so it's recommended to pick up a full Gushing set. However, against compositions that focus you inside of stuns, you're going to have some issues, so picking up some versatile down the line will greatly help. Restoration as a healer doesn't have much use for damage. As a result, stacking versatile is going to increase their healing and also provide damage reduction. Enhancement Shamans lack a good way of spreading Gushing to multiple targets and have access to using fist weapons, so it's recommended to use 2 Lash of the Voids combined with Versatile. For both Fire and Frost mages, it's recommended to pick up Versatile. Mages don't rely on consistent damage for most compositions they play in and are more often than not the target, so you'll gain a lot more value from Versatile. In certain compositions, like when paired with a Destruction Warlock, you could opt for more damage from Gushing when you know you won't be focused. Destruction is often the target in every composition they play. As a result of this, Versatile is their recommended corruption due to how often they play with Conflict Major. If you lack versatility gear or want to be more Glass Cannon, you could swap Versatile for Mastery %. Moving on to Monks. Mistweaver as a healer wants Versatile for the added healing and also damage reduction. Windwalkers can also make use of Lash of the Void, so can combine that with Versatile, swapping out the Lash of the Void if in need of more damage reduction. Not to mention, versatility is also a Windwalker Monk's best offensive stat, so it's a no-brainer. Restoration Druids, of course, again as a healer, want Versatile. Versatile also increases their damage when you're able to play aggressively inside of cat form. Balanced Druids suffer the same fate as Shadow Priests. If you're targeted, then you can't really do much. So Versatile gives them the added durability they need, so aim for a full Versatile set which can then be swapped out for a few Gushing Wounds on high item level pieces depending on how much survivability you need in a certain matchup. Feral Druids want to aim to get the Devour Vitality corruption from the staff. After that, we recommend going for Versatile as it's still a really good damage stat for Feral. If you're feeling spicy and want more damage at the cost of survivability, you can mix in some Gushing on high item level pieces and wear a mixture of both. Demon Hunters are already one of the hardest classes to kill due to their leech and mobility. This enables them to prioritize damage corruptions, and the best for that is to wear 2x Lash of the Void and then stack the rest of your corruption resistance with Gushing Wounds. Last up, we've got Death Knights, both of which specs want to be focusing on getting full Gushing. Death Knight is inherently tanky and has a lot of defensive cooldowns coupled with self-healing, making them very durable, while having a very easy time proccing Gushing on multiple targets via their dots, resulting in Gushing Wounds being the best in most scenarios. You could later down the line, as with most classes, focus on getting some Versatile just for those situations where you need some added defense. Overall, both Versatile and Gushing Wound, despite being nerfed, remain to be the 2 strongest corruptions as of right now. And later down the line, when you've got more Echoes of Nyalotha and more gear to play around with, both corruptions will be utilized by most classes, swapping around between them depending on matchups and compositions. And when it comes down to if you want to deal max damage, equip Gushings, if you want middle ground, wear a mixture, and if you want full defense, wear Versatile. Alright, we here at SkillCap put a ton of work into keeping you updated on how to play and play around every class in World of Warcraft Arena. The best way to show your support and love for the channel, as well as remaining up to date on any shifts in the meta as they happen, is to like, subscribe, and share the video. Remember, the content you find here on YouTube is just a taste of the hyper improvement platform that you'll find on our website. If you're serious about pushing arena rating and want to improve, be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.